how do you start? I have experts here to help us understand those details better. This season was African print, so if you realize, I've been doing African print throughout, and I have two important businesses to thank for. I had Mamel's Creation. She sold all my dresses for this show, so you can call Rose on 0541809393. When it comes to fashion design, she's on top of the world. And if you want materials for sewing, you call Endless Fashion Mall. Call Samuela on 0243018508. Irrespective of where you are, they can get you your materials and they have it sold to you. So please make sure you call them so that I get more sponsors. And if you're out there and you want to sponsor this show, please do. Okay, call us on 0559680066. Sponsor our show, and who knows, maybe you'll be a lucky FNS sponsor. All right. So if you are listening to me now, please call that friend, call another friend. If you have any questions at all, or our social media handles, you can ask the question again on 0559680066. Ask all your questions and we'll have them answered. If you don't know, I will investigate and come and tell you, so don't worry. I have three gentlemen with me. You know, always I want to balance it a bit, but today I have three powerful gentlemen. So we are doing a boys' brigade. As I said, today we are doing a boys' brigade here. And I have three very powerful gentlemen. The first, it goes by the name Elder Evans Bediako Osei. Yes, the minute I start with Elder, you know he's a Seventh-day Adventist. Yes, he is. He is the Senior Manager, Marketing and External Relations Department at the National Insurance Commission. He used to be the Area Manager for the Ashanti and Bro-and-Hafo regions, the Regional Manager for the Volta and Oti regions, and Head Call Supervision Unit, all within the NIC. He used to be with ADRA Ghana as their finance coordinator. He worships with Alajo SDA Church and is married with 2 kids. Malejo.
Near Valley View University.
Near Valley View University.
Yeah.
Malejo. Hey, Elder, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And Elder, I'm curious about NIC. And watch how many years?
17 solid years.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go on, go on, 17.
Yes.
And how has it been? How has it been with NIC?
Oh, it's been fine. Insurance regulator. Until I got there, we thought that the whole financial space was regulated by Bank of Ghana. Until the days just before I got to the National Insurance Commission, that I got to know that insurance is really regulated by the NIC and not Bank of Ghana. So sure, it's been good.
But NIC, what is it exactly? Apart from what else you do? What goes into it? If I'm a lay person, I don't understand NIC. How you let me understand NIC?
Great. NIC supervises insurance industry in this country. So we give licenses to insurance companies to operate. Without an NIC approval and license, no insurance entity can operate in this country. And then having given them the license, we supervise their activities to ensure that they are being fair to the policyholders and claimants and the general public, and also that they are managing the company and their resources effectively and efficiently, so that in times of need, they'll be able to respond to the claims of their policyholders and claimants.
That's interesting. So if I have an issue with an insurance company, you are the institution I should report to?
Yes, that is another very important function that the NIC takes up. That is, people with complaints against insurance entities come to us, they lodge petitions or complaints, and then we mediate between the entity and the person who is aggrieved.
And when you give, let's say, a reward, when you give a rule in a judgment, are you able to enforce it to ensure the insurance company really abides by it?
Sure. The law gives us the powers, and we have very good relationship with the insurance companies. So most of the time, when we give rulings, the insurance company abides by the ruling we give. Yeah. The subject to, of course, legal limitations. For instance, the law says that when a matter comes to us, which is already before a court of law, we have no jurisdiction unless the case is withdrawn from court.
I refer to you.
Yes, and then we can go into it.
Thank you so much, Elder. At least now you know a little bit about NIC, Abby. So if you are dealing with an insurance company and you feel as if you are being shortchanged, you can petition the NIC.
Sure.
So the second gentleman I have is Mr. Roland Kwabena Avenyo Adiko. I hope I have pronounced the name right.
Exactly.
I have?
You have.
Aye, thank you. Mr. Avenyo Adiko works with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. He is their regional manager, the Tema Regional Office. His expertise lies in the fields of regulation, investment, risk management, and social policy, with a specific focus on pension and retirement management within the financial sector. He has over 12 years of experience with NPRA and has worked in various capacities at the head office in Accra. Additionally, Roland has been actively involved in consultancy work, providing valuable insights on pension investment strategies and the energy sector, particularly in renewables. His educational background, he has a bachelor's degree in economics with political science from the University of Ghana, the only university in Ghana, and of Ghana.
Sure.
He has a master's degree in funds and portfolio management from from that university. University. He also has obtained a certification as a compliance professional and a member of the International Academy of Business and Financial Management. Roland, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
NPRA. People have a lot of issues with NPRA. So tell us a little bit about NPRA.
NPRA. Ghana's pension landscape is governed by the National Pensions Act, Act 766. And the Act proposes or gives a system, a three-tiered pension system. Another three-tier pension schemes. We have two mandatory schemes, which are the Tier 1 and the Tier 2. The Tier 1, which we all know, is the Basic National Social Security Scheme, which is managed by SNET. Then the Tier 2, which is Occupational Pension Scheme, which is also licensed by, managed by licensed trustees. That is private trustees that we've licensed. And for all, the third tier, which is also licensed, run by licensed trustees as well. For all these schemes to work well, the law again establishes a National Pensions Authority, that's the regulator, which is the NPRA. And the object of the NPRA is to monitor and regulate the operations of the schemes and also ensure effective administration.
All the tiers?
Oh, yes, all the tiers, and to also to ensure effective administration of pensions in Ghana. So what it means is that the Tier 1, which is managed by SNET, the Tier 2, which is managed by the private pension schemes, and the Tier 3 are all schemes or that the NPRA is to ensure effective management and administration of. The NPRA also have certain functions which Section 7 of the Act provides, that's to ensure the compliance of the Act itself, and also to license and register schemes. First, to register the scheme. For a scheme to operate, it first has to be registered. And for it to be registered, first, the trustee has to be licensed. The trustee has to obtain license from the authority, and when granted, then they will now have to register a scheme. When they register the scheme name becomes gazetted, so it becomes a name that no other can use apart from that trustee's name. Then also ensure that if there are issues in respect of complaints policy development, research into pensions or social welfare issues. All these functions are what the MPRA undertakes. So the MPRA's ultimate responsibility is to ensure that there is harmony in terms of, people's pensions, people's
if
contributions.
I have an issue with SNET or any of the tier 2, I can come to you for
Exactly. For
and do we always have to come to you? Because we hear a lot of issues about the fact that pensioners, if they have to go for their pensions from SNET, it's so difficult. That it's so a lot of issues. Sometimes the money is not. Do they really have to report to you? Or you can do investigations on your own and be sure that they do.
Exactly. Those are the powers that is given to the MPRA. The MPRA has the powers to investigate issues
by themselves.
Yes, by ourselves, and also to call to order where the law has given, because the law gives you boundaries to operate, and it gives you the power to take certain actions that would also ensure that the contributor is also having results as to what the challenge is. As we speak, our vision is to ensure retirement income security of the Ghanaian Ghanaian worker. So all our focus and strategy is to ensure that, yes, contributors as well as the trustees operate with this kind of vision to ensure that pensions or people, when they go on retirement, will be paid the actual
well, I have so many things when it comes to SNET, but you don't worry, we'll come there later.
You do speak about just to yes. give a correct an impression.
Yes.
In terms of people having their contributions or pensions benefit and it being small.
We'll come there.
Yes.
Actually,
sure.
it's part of my main question, so we'll come there, don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So I have another gentleman with me. Unfortunately, Madam Mary Sowa couldn't make it. She has an emergency, but most importantly, we have a very nice gentleman replacing her. And she will. And she says that she sends her regards. Okay, she sends her regards, and so she wants us to be able to do everything that we are supposed to do. So Mary, please, wherever you find yourself, please stay safe. Okay. So the one who is replacing her is Mr. Seth Marty. Mr. Marty is the Greater Accra Regional president of the. He's the treasurer. Yes, sorry, he's the Greater Accra Regional treasurer of the National Pensioners Association. Before retiring, he had worked with the ECG for 34 years. We be when 34 years. I'm telling you. You work 1 year, 5 years, you are leaving the institution. He worked with ECG for 34 years. And one thing I love about him is the fact that he's been on pension for the past 7 years. So at least he's not that old and he's not that young. He has at least experienced pension a bit and will be able to give us some insight into the pension and what it's all about. So we want the practical part of it. And Mr. Marty is going to give us the practical part. Mr. Marty, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I hope you're fine.
The grace of
and
God.
Everything is fine.
Yes.
34 years with ECG, why?
Well, we started fresh. By dint of hard work, through schooling and the rest, we were able to at least move up before I retired.
But before you retired, what was your portfolio? What's your position?
I was a principal technician engineer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I retired at sub-transmission.
Okay.
ECG.
Okay. And why 34 years? Giving 34 years of your life to one institution, why?
Well, was
the money that good?
I will not say it wasn't bad anyway. It wasn't bad, but you know, formally, it is very difficult because you need to look at your life Because sometimes if you don't take time, and you should be moving from place to place during those period of time, and you are not lucky, you end up, you know, truncating a lot of things.
That's true.
Yes. So it is better to stay at a particular place and then, you know, go on retirement.
That's an advice.
Yes.
Me move there.
Yeah, because like you say, as a matter of fact, if because I had some colleagues when we were transferred to Takoradi, for instance. About 2 of them, they decided to leave. Unfortunately, it was a disaster. Yeah. One of them went. The two they went to work with a gold mining company, and I think about 2-3 years, the whole thing collapsed. So you can just imagine.
Security of jobs.
Security of jobs.
Very important.
It is very, very important.
Yes. You know my sign language interpreter, right? Atanya Meche. He's doing us the service, what he does best. So let's zoom in. I think let's zoom in. So when we talk about retirement, yes. What age are we looking at, Mr. Roland? What age are we looking at? What should someone look out for generally when it comes to retirement?
Yes, I would say that retirement is a point in one's life where one decides not to be actively working or decide not to work again. So in Ghana, our retirement age, statutory retirement age is 60 years. But in certain work environments, like the mining sector and all that, they call it hazardous work. There, the law reduces the retirement age to 55 years. And again, in terms of the design of the schemes, the law also allows for, under the Tier 2, for one, if one at age 50 is seeking for a job and is not finding for a period of time, can access the Tier 2. But for the Tier 1, it should be at 60, for which you will be able to assess your contributions or your retirement income. So invariably, retirement looks at the point at which you make a decision which is favorable in terms of age as per our law, which gives us 60 years for you to assess your retirement benefits. What to look up for? In terms of retirement, we all want to achieve a certain goal. So one, you ask yourself if you have enough, you have saved enough to continue in the lifestyle that you are enjoying as a working person, because you need to replace, you call it replacement income. You need to replace the income that you've been receiving as a worker. In retirement, you should have something that could also help you to be able to survive within all the periods that you not be working. Again, you have to ask yourself at retirement, which is at 60, I believe my colleague would tell much about it, the kind of challenges that you have. One is health issues. So you should ask yourself, have you saved enough for you to be able to assess good health care? Is another thing that you have to look at. And in retirement planning, you need to look at certain factors in terms of your investment. Because under the Tier 2, you are given a lump sum upon retirement. So you should be able to also diversify your investment, or the amount that you are given. You should be able to invest it, which will be diversified in a very good way that will be sustainable or to mitigate any risks that you may foresee in the future. So in a nutshell, I think this is what we will say retirement is all about and what we should be looking out for.
All right. So when we look at investment, what are the types of investment we should look at generally?
Yeah, generally, in terms of when, it depends. One, if you are looking at what we call the class or the cohorts in terms of investment, you are looking at the youthful worker, you are looking at someone who is close to retirement, and you are looking at the middle person. So all this class of people will determine the type of investment vehicles you should be investing in. And we do have short-term investment which should be more liquid, because if you are close to your retirement, then you should have your investment close to a near cash investment, so that at any point in time you can turn it over into cash for your support. Then when you are very young, you are looking at a long-term future, so you should have a mix of more of stock market equity and all bonds, long-term bonds and all those things, which will help you to plan for the long term. And then the middle will be looking at near cash and also a mixture of both the stock and all that, so as to help them also grow the fund and mitigate any risks that they may encounter in the course of their investment life. And the investment instrument prescribed by the Pensions Act, I've looked at all these categories, and then you have government bonds, you have corporate bonds, you have fixed deposits, which are with the banks, which you invest through the banks. You have estate, direct investment into estates, which now the law has given with certain conditions that you have to meet. And you have the equity market, the stock market, where you'll be able to also place certain funds. And there are restrictions in terms of the amount, in terms of when it's a trustee, the amount that you should be able to place in a particular issuer. If we talk about issuer, a particular investment or instrument that has been given by a specific, investor. So these are all things designed to be able to mitigate any risks, any unforeseen or foreseen risks that we'll be looking at in terms of pension investment.
It looks very cumbersome, Elder. What else do we want to add to it? It looks so cumbersome.
Well, for me, he has talked about long-term and short-term and all that, but for me, to put it simply, I will look at safety. So if the investment is safe, whether it's
in this country at this moment, which investment is safe? Because the ones with us were safe has been overreached. So which investment is safe?
Yeah. We live in turbulent times, because until recently we all believed that government instruments were safe, risk-free, 100% safe. But DDEP came and we have to revise our notes.
Maybe the whole financial books.
Exactly, or the whole financial books, especially as far as Ghana is concerned. So, but then, talking about investment, apart from financial investments, one very important investment that we overlook is self-development. You invest also in yourself as a person, and then sharpen your skills. There are skills that and professions that when you are even 80 and you still have strength, you can still practice and make some income. So you look at all this when you are considering investments.
And when it comes to insurance and with vis-a-vis old age, are there any kinds of insurance we should be looking at?
Sure, that is very important. Coming from the NIC, my submission will not be complete without talking about insurance policies to help during retirement. Yes, there are several investment insurance policies and products that one can invest in to help you have a comfortable life at retirement. Some of these policies can be health insurance policies to take care of your health during retirement. You can also do investments like annuities, in which case you pay money to an insurance company in an annuity arrangement, so that after retirement the insurance company will be paying you monthly or annually or quarterly as you choose. Yes.
There's something like that.
Yes.
Really?
That's interesting.
Yes.
Please stress that part again. So you pay the insurance company money, and when you come on retirement, every month or every quarter or every as you want it, they'll be paying you.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
And it's very much in Ghana.
Yes, it's in Ghana.
This is the first time I'm hearing
This is the
it.
first time also.
Is what SNIT, just to come in, what SNIT practices is an annuity structure.
But that one they are being forced to pay.
Ah.
I'm looking at an institution where
Yes.
I can walk to that institution and tell the institution, I want to give you this particular amount of money, so that when I go on retirement, you give me this particular amount of money.
So with the Pensions Act, mostly that aspect goes with the what do you call it, the third tier, the informal sector operators, because they are not covered by any mandatory scheme, tier 1, tier 2. The law prescribes that they have two accounts, which is the savings account and the retirement account. The savings account, after 5 years, they can have access to. The retirement account is what it also gives position for the insurance companies to develop an annuity scheme where they will take those monies and then give it to those insurance companies, and then they will pay them monthly pensions, just as the SNIT is giving you monthly pensions.
So my question then is, I don't need to go through a third tier person. I can go straight to an insurance company for the insurance company to do that.
Yes.
Yes, that is it. But in Ghana, annuity products are not, unless I will leave that to
I'm curious. I'm really I'm interested.
Yes, the NIC has approved insurance companies to write annuity products, and as we are talking, Old Mutual Life Assurance is issuing out annuity products.
Old Mutual, you owe us for free advertisement.
Yeah, so I'm saying it because for now they are the only company that are selling annuities. But in the coming days, many more companies will come on board.
So let me understand. So I go to this company and I sit down with the company and say, after 60 years, maybe every month I want to be paid 2,000. So how much should I be paying towards that? And when I pay towards that, I'll get my 2,000.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
For annuity, I think you need to have a lump sum, which you put in there, because that money needs to be worked in a certain structure that will be paid to you back.
So it's not like I'm paying
years.
every month to that time. I have to pay just one lump sum.
It will be depend on periodic payment. Yes.
It can be a lump sum. A lump sum, for example, you do a tier 2 or tier 3 scheme, and then on retirement, or even the tier 2, the lump sum that SNIT used to pay now is the pensions companies, pension schemes that pay. So you take that money. If you handle it yourself, you may not be able to manage it well, and so you give it to an annuity company like Old Mutual, and then they'll manage it for you and be paying you the monthly or quarterly or annual payout that
plus
you
what
yourself.
SNIT will be giving you. That would not be bad.
Yes.
That would not be bad. All right. So now I've learned something. Charlie, I have to start looking into that one.
This is new to me.
You see, with Mr. Mr. Mate being 7 years pension, it's new to you.
I'll tell you.
How so? You are part of the National Pensions Association.
Annuities are new. That's what I'm saying.
It's quite new.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You see, it's quite new. You heard this from here. You heard this from here. Please give us the. So, Mr. Martin, let me ask you this question. How is it like being a pensioner? How is it like?
Well, that's a matter of. In fact,
let's be fair and practical.
Yes, some few years back, it was quite good, but I realized that well, if you look at the emoluments of people, it's just too bad. Look, it will surprise you to know that somebody is taking about less than 500 cedis.
A month.
A pensioner, yes. Pensioner is taking less than 500 cedis. Just, I think, yesterday, for instance, somebody went to a bank for some loan. So normally when they go to the bank for some loan, they are supposed to come to our office for some endorsement.
Okay.
I would need to ensure that we know how much you take for the month. And based upon that, that is what the bank will decide to give you. Sometimes you look at it and somebody who says he has worked for what, 20 years, 25 years, his pension is still less than 1,000 cedis. And
So tell me, when you go on pension, what are some of the issues that you deal with?
you see, that is why from the beginning, I mean from the onset, you were saying you need to do some sort of small investment. Because definitely, either you like it or you definitely go on pension. So it is better to at least start something doing. You can, like my colleague said, you can upgrade your skills.
So that when you go on pension, you can
that
still
when you-
work.
Yes, so that you can still work. You see, and even if you cannot, at least before you go on retirement, probably your salary might have come up.
Yeah.
And the moment it comes off, you know, normally when they want to work your pension, I think the last 3 years is what is considered. So if you're able to, you know, upgrade yourself to a certain position, definitely when you go on pension, at least your pension is quite okay. And if not okay, at least it is better.
Something, yeah.
There are some people, they think, oh, probably where they are, they've been getting some small money. They don't think about, they don't think about upgrading themselves. So that when they go on retirement, that is where the problem starts.
So what are some of the problems?
The problem is, you know, your pension cannot, sustain you.
Because 500 a month.
And maybe if you are not lucky,
ECG, pay water.
yes,
The
if
money
you
is
are not
finished.
lucky and you don't have your own house or probably a building which has been given to you by either your family, your parents, whatever,
And you have to rent.
You have to rent. Definitely, you by all means have a wife and if not 1 or 2 children. So you can just imagine. That's why most people, when they go on retirement, 2-3 years, they are gone because of the stress.
But if you go, then who should take the stress?
Don't think about that. Like I was saying, you see, sometimes people think about what they get today. They don't think about the future. But if you've been thinking about the future, then of course you see that I need to put something down. So that even if you don't get anything from anywhere, at least your pension should be able to sustain you up to a certain period of time.
But let's be realistic.
Yes.
Well, let's be realistic here. Someone is being paid every month.
Yes.
1,000, 1,500, 2,000. When you take out the tax component, you take out the rent and the water and electricity, you take out the school fees. Really, there's really nothing to even live on. How then do we save? Like, let's be practical. How do we save?
Yeah, so I think
And invest.
our brother has said it all because of his experience. And most of the times when we are in our working lives, our focus is on the allowances and not the basic. Pension is a component of your basic salary. And that is what a lot of workers forget about. They will go, the unions will go and fight for more allowances and more, side benefits rather than focusing on the basic salary, because it's out of the basic salary that your pension is calculated. And therefore, if your basic is very small, then you need to understand that when you retire, you are going to receive a smaller benefit, because SSNIT or Tier 1 is a defined benefit. As it's saying, the best 3 years is used in calculating your monthly pension for the next 15 years. So until maybe after 15 years and you are still alive, then you have to sign on to the, a form to indicate that you are still alive and still should be receiving. We mostly advise people that when you are negotiating, make sure that your negotiation focuses on your basic, so that it helps in planning your future. Many times people, they will have a very because of tax issues. They would like to have a small basic, now that maybe we are taxing allowances and other things, so that window,
we are back.
that window is closed. But many a times, a lot of people focus on their basic because they think that that is where they would not be able to pay, and they connive or with their employers, and then they pay them small money and give them big allowances. And at the end of the day, you will suffer because you're out of your basic salary, you pay a 5.5, your employer is to pay 13% of that. So you have let hook your employer to be able to reduce his portion of the 13% according to your basic salary. So it is advisable that people, as he's saying, you either upgrade yourself if you are within a certain bracket, so that your salary can increase when you are getting close to your retirement age. And again, it's important that we focus to make sure that our basic salaries are quite enough, so that when the deductions are made and paid for pensions, it will be enough to cater for whatever lifestyle. Because remember, when you are taking allowances, it increases the lifestyle as you work. Now you go on retirement, you have no allowances, so the income or the retirement that is given, income that is given to you, is according to your basics. But during your working life, you were receiving more than the basic because the allowances were adding up and helping you to live a certain lifestyle.
Okay, so there are people who indeed do that,
Yeah.
but there are also people who indeed, that is what they earn. They don't get any side gigs. They earn 1,000
Yeah.
for 2,000.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, expenses takes everything. How can such a person invest? There's nothing to invest. How do you do it?
No, like you were saying, earlier when I said, if you can manage and sharpen your skills, or improve your educational background, at least it can also push you.
Yeah, so that's one option. And we are looking at the young ones. So let's say someone is in their late 50s right now watching us, and the money, the take-home money is not that much. How can the person still prepare? Isn't there hope for such a person?
Yes, at least,
So
at
what
least,
can
the next
how can
5
the
years you
person-
should be able. You see, sometimes people forget. They forget that. Look, they will be going on retirement.
That's true.
Look,
We are here to remind
Yes,
them
yes,
we are going.
Yes, I remember a certain guy came to the office and he needed loan from the bank. So when he came, we told him, you need to register and become a member before we can do anything for you. No, it should surprise you to know that where he was staying, he was in a government bungalow. He retired for I think about 2 years, and then they started, evicting him. So he had to quickly come. He went to the bank, and the bank told him, no, they cannot give him until he comes to, National Pensions Office.
Actually, we'll be talking about that.
To, do some endorsement for him. So when he came, I interviewed him. Then I realized that, no, these are some of the people who think, they will not leave government bungalow. Now that he has come on return with his family, now that he's going to look for a place to stay. And he told me he bought land, about 2 plots of land. So I asked him, then why not sell one and use one to build? When you were in the Ghana, you were in the bungalow. I said, what? He couldn't give me any proper answer.
So, to live a good life, a comfortable life, less stressful life at retirement, it means that you need to sacrifice a lot during your working life, cut back on consumption, because for money in 3 days, your friend of family. So even if you are getting 10,000 Ghana cedis, 20,000 Ghana cedis, and we really want to spend it, you will spend it and even have a deficit. So you need to sacrifice and save, and then use the savings properly to do the things you need to do, like what he was saying, putting up a building for yourself, so that, because not at the time of retirement that you have to be paying rent. you will die early. So sacrifice, and then make sure you save. Then what you have saved, invest it properly so that it can take care of you during retirement. Another thing that we also have to look at is our health.
Yes.
During your youthful days that you are working, be careful with the kind of things you are eating and drinking so that it will not give you problems, health problems at retirement.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you are working, you are strong, you can eat anything and drink anything. When you are aging, then the health issues associated with your lifestyle, you know, set in. And it is expensive, you know, to manage some of these things. And so that is one area that we have to look at. Financial investments, fine, but investing in your health
And in yourself.
and in yourself.
So important. So let's be practical here, okay? Someone will tell you, Charlie, you don't know the future. I don't know if 60 years will beat me. I'm saving, and to give my children, they'll give the money to my children. When I'm struggling right now, practically doing hand to mouth. And why would I want to do that?
So the question goes, why if it happens that you live to that time?
That's the question.
And then they
That's
say,
the question.
they say it's better to err on the side of caution.
Yes.
So if you do things properly and you die and you have so much money left,
That's
and
fine.
your children come to enjoy,
How should they? Why
I
should
think
they
you have
enjoy?
done well for them. They will praise you. They will,
They'll not insult you.
they will not insult you.
Just as
You
you
know,
said, you see, the
but-
question is, that's what we call risk management. The question you don't know is unforeseen. It's uncertainty that you may not know in the future. But what you do is that you plan towards it so that when it happens, what if it doesn't happen? Voila, Frenchman will say, you enjoy from it. But if it happens, then what will you do? So it's always good to be psychologically and physically ready for retirement, because retirement is psychological one and it's mentally one. You need to, as my colleague is saying, you need to have a good health or manage your physical health. That is one. You need to prepare yourself that if I'm going on retirement, what is my focus? So you need to begin, upon getting close to retirement, you need to begin to have some socialization or social activities that will take you off from the work, because you are moving from a working environment where you move from morning 8 to even 5. And this is all going to stop. So there should be something that should occupy you within that period, and that is psychological. It also kills you when because you become isolated in terms of, you know, retirement and all that. So these are all plans that you need to put in place. You need to know what the agenda is, what focus is. A lot of the time, people, when they reach the age 58, 59, before they come to the realization and say that, hey, I'm close. But pension is a long term. As young as you are, from age 20, 30, and you start working, you have to, you know, consciously put certain measures or steps in place towards your pension. Things that are not planned can never be measured or can never be set through. Yeah.
So
You
maybe-
asked a question
Yeah.
which I wanted to talk
please.
about. Currently, your income is so low, cannot take care of all the bills, let alone saving. That's the reality. That's the situation with many Ghanaians now. So, what I would say is that, yes, it is so. What we have to do is to plan towards improving our incomes and sometimes reducing the expenses.
Yeah.
And then we make sure that this situation does not persist over a long time, so that we can increase income and then the savings can begin to come. At a point in time, you are working and at the end of the month, you are unable to save anything because you take out your transport, your electricity, your food, and a few things, rent and so on, and the money is finished. Yes, but so far as there is hope that you are putting things in place so that this situation does not persist over a long time, so that you are doing things that will improve your income. For instance, you are taking on professional courses, learning new skills, and then sometimes, let's face it, you even need to change jobs. He was lucky, his work was a very good one, he was paying very well, so he could last there for
34 years.
Oh, well done. But
it was not easy anyway.
But if it is such that, you know, the salary is bad and there's no hope of it, you know, improving, then what is the business remaining there for a long time? Sometimes you need to change job, and that is the reality, so that you can improve your life and save towards retirement.
Yeah. Mr. Mate, tell me a little bit about the National Pensions Association. What do you do? How can someone join? What are some of your activities? Okay,
well, our activity is very simple. We expect that anybody who is a SSNIT, you know, being, if you take your pension from SSNIT, we expect that you become part of us.
So that is it, the criteria?
That is it.
So if I'm not a SSNIT contributor, I cannot be part of your association?
No. Well, what happens is, for the moment you become, you join us, there is, you are supposed to do some small contribution toward the running of the association.
Okay.
So that if your SSNIT is not paying you, it will be quite difficult.
Oh, there should be a bank account where I can pay the money every month?
No, but you should go to SSNIT.
The money should go to SSNIT?
Yes, because SSNIT take it straight from your check.
Okay, so let me understand. The association is being run by SSNIT?
Not as such. Not as such. But what happened is, we work in collaboration with SSNIT.
Okay.
You see, so that SSNIT takes any contribution from our members, which is invested to us to run the association.
Okay.
Not just Accra, the whole country.
Okay.
You see, so that we expect that anybody who joins National Pensioners Association is supposed to do some small contribution at the end of every month. And that money is, you know, deducted from the person's check.
I think SSNIT should open it up, because SSNIT can have an account where, although I'm not a SSNIT contributor, I can pay the money into that account for the running of the business.
Yes, you know, for now, I remember, but they are advising people to join the scheme.
The SSNIT scheme.
Yes.
So if I don't join this,
no.
That's a way of pulling us in. That's not bad.
Not that. You see, because but there are some you know, benefits.
Okay.
You see, because well, if you are not a SSNIT contributor, definitely you cannot enjoy some of those things.
Oh, okay.
But let's just assume you are a trader, for instance.
Yeah.
You can decide to be paying SSNIT. You can decide how much you want to pay.
Hey, I think I like the fact that you are being a SSNIT promoter.
Yes. Oh no, not that. Not just that.
It's a good one.
Not
So let's see. I pick a form. So I'm going on retirement.
Yes.
Do I pick a form from your office?
Yes.
Where is your office located?
The office is at Henry Day. You know, it is at Sosu.
Osu.
Oh, yes,
okay.
Osu.
So I pick the form, I fill it out.
You pick a form, you fill it there, you fill it. Well, we expect that when you are coming, you bring about 4 passport pictures.
4 passport pictures.
Yes,
okay.
your national health, either your national health insurance card or your Ghana card. This side has been linked, so we prefer that you bring your Ghana card, so that we will register you. When we register you, then they become part of us.
Okay.
You see, so that you then have a medical scheme, which we call pensioners medical scheme.
Okay.
And that take care of, you know, especially these cancerous diseases.
Oh, okay.
Both male and female.
Okay, so the kidneys and all those ones you take.
No, that's a matter of fact. For that one, we are yet to.
Okay.
But we are talking to the insurance company to include those things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we have an insurance policy.
Yes, we have an insurance policy.
Okay, but so are there specific ailments?
Yes.
Like cancer.
Cancer, especially cancer. Cancer and, you know. Well, I must say cancer.
Okay.
So what they can do, eventually we are also getting there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what we can do is that we can open it up, maybe increase the contribution a little, and then buy a cover like group critical illness cover, so that it can cover some of these critical illnesses.
Yeah, because right now, most of the elderly people, we are looking at the kidneys, we are looking at the hearts, we are the BPs.
It is because of the situation that we find ourselves.
Yes, but if your insurance covers a particular illness and takes out certain ailments.
You see, I believe in the wisdom. I believe in the wisdom of the insurance company. It is prostate cancer, cervical cancer, those things. See, most of the time when you are, I mean, those things start with, I think, age.
Yeah,
those things start with age. That is why probably this, in their wisdom, they decided to deal much with that. But we are trying to tell them that, look, as it is, kidney
is becoming a whole issue.
And you know, kidney and liver is also becoming a problem as compared to these cancerous things.
So let me ask you an interesting question someone asked me some time back. The person was like, the National Pensions Association seemed to be very, they seem not to be out there. We don't hear about you. Until recently, I didn't even know that such an association existed.
Well,
do you let us know? How do you let us know you are there?
Well, we expect that when you go on pension, you know, you go to the nearest SSNIT office.
That's if you're a SSNIT contributor, yes.
Yes, where you'll be given a note which will tell you, oh, this is how much you are going to take. Sometimes, in fact, we've been telling them that when they can, they should tell those people, those pensions, that there is an association which they should come and join so that they can be part of us. You see, but most people, in fact, if you look at most people who join are those who go to the bank for loans and the situation compels them to come. Sometimes when they come, they ask, what are the benefits? What benefit? What benefit? What are the benefits? But sometimes they forget that at least with those small things which, you know, you can get, there are some of the benefits that you can get.
Okay, so my final question, and any of it can give us some specific investment portfolios currently in Ghana that someone can invest in, if the person is thinking of pension or not. What are some of the portfolios? Because right now in Ghana, if you ask me, I don't trust any. I don't trust any. Even my savings, my bank account. You understand? But the whole idea is that you are still in the country. You have to invest somehow. Give us specifics. How can we invest? Give us specifics. You can mention a company's name.
Well, for now, I may say probably. I stand to be corrected. It is only these treasury bills.
Treasury bills. That one can make me scared.
Well, that is
because
for now. For now.
If bonds can be touched,
for now,
treasury bills.
For now. Because government, like I said, government bonds.
Initially, we were
thinking it is untouchable.
So now treasury bills, yes. We don't want to cry, Mr. By you, yes. For now.
For now.
Yeah, I will take it from two fronts.
Okay.
One, if you are currently a pensioner, currently a contributor, then you are sure that you are either in a tier 1 or tier 2 or doing a provident or personal pension, which is for informal sector markets. The structure of the investment portfolio kind of is diversified enough to be able to give you that kind of comfort that in future you will be able to have, you know, a good retirement income to help you save, to help you live on. If it's an individual situation, just as our big brother is saying, maybe you have gone on retirement, you receive your lump sum. You need to look at specifics, areas that you can have short-term liquidity or funds. And those are the treasury bills, as you say. Yes. Okay. Those ones, you've gone on retirement, you have your funds. You want to place it somewhere that at least every 3 months you receive something.
No, I'm interested, sir. So any other?
If you want to go because at that age you want something quick that you'll be able to
it's about dollars.
Then that way you also bring in pressure on
the
same,
be thinking
on
about
the same
ourselves.
situation.
So if I'm someone who is younger, which investments are you looking at?
Yes, if you are younger, then one, you have a barrel of different schemes to join with.
Okay.
Then you have your tier 1 contribution.
Yeah, that's tier 2.
You have tier 2.
Possibly.
Then possibly if you are a former sector worker, then you have a provident fund.
Yeah.
The law also, under the Pensions Act, allows, after exhausting all these 3, tier 1, tier 2, and the provident, you can also do the personal pension scheme.
Okay.
Because remember, as I said, pensions is a component of your basic salary.
Yeah. So we are looking at
the law has
1, 2,
given
3,
you
and possibly 4.
Yes, the law has given you.
One. My time is always up.
Yes, the law has given you at least 35% tax-free to be invested in pensions. That's your basic salary. Okay. So I will encourage people to use that whole 35 so that you don't pay tax on those ones, and it becomes a savings. Even the tax that you were supposed to pay, the pre-tax, is not charged on your salary.
So how do you do that? Do you go to controller and say controller added to it, or you tell your employer?
Yeah, it's a relationship between the employer and the employee. So, for instance, when you, mandatory ones, if you're a former sector worker, they will do.
Those ones are gone. I'm talking about the 35, gone. The extra one. How do I go about
so it? If you do the 2 mandatory gives you 18.5. So the 16.5, sometimes some employer agree with the employee to say that let's share and do a 30, which is the provident fund. Then in addition, if you've not exhausted all the 35, or if you have room, you could do a personal pension, which is also not taxed.
Okay,
and
so
what happens?
That one you do it by going to your employer to tell your employer.
Yes, deduct. Yes, so transfer the money to this scheme or this, that, and that, and all those things are a pot of investment that you could have.
They are.
Yeah.
Yes. So, apart from all these, buy annuities, buy other insurance products such as critical illness covers, which can cover you for certain illnesses, which when they come, you need so much money to manage. And so you buy into these policies so that when, and at retirement, because of age, the health issues become many, and your propensity to develop some of these critical illnesses is very high. So you buy into such products to help you, and so many other life insurance policies that you can buy to cushion your life at retirement.
Thank you so much. My time is past, but you can see the time, right? So in summary, I mean, kind of say, yeah, can't pension once. You can say, oh yeah, now you say maybe 20 years, maybe 25 years, sister, brother, about 20 so and 60 years number. So this is the time to plan. Time we yarn is all planning. So what be who so any problem planning towards it. But what I say, in here so all planning so I once I snake to her tier 1, tier 2. We be assign tier 3. Apart from that one, cause kana okuta no I the ma as salary no 35. Bit me friend say I me pension more. Untia tax so. What I say, do it for employer no employee 35% of me sika na meeting that pension on person me dey. O de ko ya yenje tax bia infuse. Say all dey. Here. Me so akasa apart from all these ones and so no invest one who akasa hu ye dream say me call pension me scam this can na wo so we sales person. O better sales was we middle, middle was cut up obi, go school. Yeah, sanu ejuma bi ebe discard bi beba, learn the skills ka credit sa sani no. O dey sa osika ba ko na ye tutu on ya. Enso, obeyi electricity, water. Scanner sa, school fees crown by scanner sa. Inti ye pak kakra oh. Ye we kakra no ye no sua obi sua ti ye obi sua nails, obi akọ school akwa na masters akwa PhD. Because of the school nko na ope o dey go school no here promoting we dwuma no nye scam mo tipacho dwen ho say me akasa no mete honom de na meye nti o ye o state na o upgrade ho no na o hwe insurance so what I say hwe insurance kakran no so na save e ho so be ko pension no We're comfortable. Patriotic here. So without much ado, our time is up. And please, we've said enough. Invest in yourself. Save in terms of pension, in terms of insurance, maybe landed property, the pension. Mr. Marty told us, get your building, get your land, get something, okay? Right now, it's not that safe financially. But look out and be able to protect yourself, because how the world is going, if you don't protect yourself, no one is protecting you. It's between you and your God. So until next week, when we are going to learn a lot about the relationship between the employer and the employee, the end of it, grievance resolution, conflict resolution, and when it's all coming to an end, termination, how do we go about it? God willing, next week we'll have a look at it. So please stay safe and God bless.
Thank you.